Hey there! So if you're getting ready for your shampoo and styling license exam, you are in exactly the right spot. Today we are going to break down one of the most important sections out there, hair and scalp analysis. And listen, this isn't just about memorizing stuff. It's about really getting the professional standard that's going to guarantee you walk out with a passing score. Okay, let's just dive right in. No messing around. Picture this. Your client sits down in your chair and you notice their scalp is red and there's a lot of scaling. This exact situation is what the exam is all about. How you answer this tells them if you understand the number one most important rule of your entire profession. So stick with me, and I promise, by the end of this, you'll know the right move without even blinking. So here's our game plan for mastering this. We're going to start with the why, the public trust that comes with your license. Then we'll get into what to look for, the golden rule of observing versus diagnosing, how to make that tough safety call, and finally, my favorite part, how to spot and beat the little traps the PSI exam loves to set for you. It's a clear path to a clear pass. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, a license is a trust. This is the bedrock, the foundation for every single question you're going to face on this topic. Believe me, it's about so much more than just hair. This is the core idea right here. You need to burn this phrase into your brain. Licensure is a public trust. Everything you do, every decision you make as a pro, it's all built on this one idea. The state isn't just handing you a piece of paper, it's trusting you with the health and safety of the public. It's a big deal. And that leads to this crucial point. The exam does not expect you to be a doctor, not even a little bit. It's really only testing one thing, your judgment. Can you make a safe decision to protect your client, the public, and yourself? That is the entire game. Okay, so let's move on to Section 2 and build on that. Think of this as your professional observation toolkit. These are the specific visual signs the exam expects you to know on site. Now, what's really interesting here is the language they use. These are all things you can see with your own eyes. Open sores, redness, swelling. You are not naming a disease, you're just stating a visual fact. And that distinction, it's absolutely everything on your exam. Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, the first half of our golden rule. Observe. This is your safe zone. This is your scope of practice. Let's break down exactly what that means. There it is. Observation is just the act of recognizing what you can see. But notice what's missing. You're not naming it, you're not trying to figure out what caused it, and you're definitely not suggesting a cure. You see it, you make a mental note, that's it. Job done. And now for the other side of that coin, Section 4, the red line. This is that boundary that you can never, ever cross, and that is, don't diagnose. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Your role is on the left. See, recognize, describe. It is not your role to do anything on the right. Name a condition, identify a cause, prescribe something. Here's a pro tip. If you see an exam answer that falls into that right-hand column, it is a guaranteed wrong answer. Every single time. So let's just say it together, because this is the single most important mantra for your exam and for your entire career. Observe, don't diagnose. Seriously, burn this into your memory. It is the key that unlocks almost every question they can throw at you on this topic. Okay, great. So you've observed something. Now what? Well, Section 5 is all about making the safety call. This is how you take that observation and turn it into responsible professional action. It's a simple 4-step process. 1, you observe. 2, you identify any of those red flags from our list. 3, you make the call. Can you proceed? Do you need to modify things? Or do you have to refuse service? And 4, and this is maybe the most important part, you communicate that decision like a pro, calmly and clearly. Now, you really need to pay attention here because the source material actually calls this a PSI favorite, which means you're going to see it. You absolutely have to refuse service if the skin is broken, if you see an infection, if there's blood, or if something looks contagious. And here's the ultimate safety net, the final rule. When in doubt, the correct and safest answer is always to refuse service and suggest they see a medical professional. All right, let's put it all together in our final section, Section 6, beating the exam traps. This is where we learn to think like the people who actually write this test. Let's take a look at a sample question straight from the source. A client has visible open sores on the scalp. What should the licensee do? Your options are A, apply conditioner and just avoid the area. B, proceed but gently. C, refuse service, or D, ask the client's permission to continue. What's the call here? The correct answer is, of course, C, refuse service. And why? Because open sores mean broken skin. And as we just learned, that's a hard stop. It's a non-negotiable red line. Safety always, always, always overrides everything else. Recognizing these traps is going to be huge for you. Trap number 1, diagnosis language. Any answer that uses a medical diagnosis like psoriasis or dandruff, it's a trick. It's wrong. Trap 2, treatment claims. You don't treat conditions, so any answer that says you can is wrong. And trap 3, and this one gets a lot of people, client pressure. It doesn't matter how much the client wants the service. Their permission never gives you a pass to break safety rules. All right, let's lock in the key takeaways that are going to get you that passing score. Number 1, your job is to observe, not diagnose. Got it? Number 2, know those unsafe conditions on site, especially broken skin. Number 3, always communicate your decision like a professional. And number 4, the ultimate rule, safety always comes before service. So I'll leave you with this one final question to make sure this all sticks. In that moment of uncertainty, whether it's in the exam or in your salon, what is the one single choice that always protects your client, protects your license, and protects that public trust you've been given? You know the answer. Now go pass that test.